Hey, everybody, you've reached Elizabeth and Joanne with World's Cup of Joe. Awaken your soul. This is your home for balanced, neutralized union energy in your twin flame connection. And if you're new here, make sure you press subscribe, click on the bell for notifications, because our channel is unlike any other for twin flames. And when we say that because it's true. Joanne and I are both in balanced, permanent relating experiences with our twin flames after we've been through the dark night, the separation, all of that. And now we are balanced and we're sharing this union energy with you guys. Not only sharing this union energy, but showing you how to get to this space that not only magnetizes your person back in, but allows them to stay permanently in your space. So this channel is not for everyone. If you found it today, you were divinely led here. You were ready. Your soul knew. And we welcome you with open arms because this journey is never ending. Joanne and I will always share our own struggles, our own successes, all of that with you guys, because this journey is our ascension journey. And along with it, when you learn how to align to this amazing energy of soul, your twin flame naturally magnetizes back in, and then you have to learn how to balance them. So that's what we're here guiding you. We love sharing balanced energy with you. We love showing you how to balance your energy. And we love all of those comments that all of you put in our channel about how you are shifting in your own connection. So welcome. And today, before we get started, we just want to let you know there is 3 days left of our Easter sale. And why do we do this? We love helping other beautiful souls in their journeys because this journey is so challenging. It feels so isolating. It feels so all-consuming. And it feels like you're doing it alone. And we never want you to feel that because we know what the struggles are. We know how painful it is. We know that feeling of being curled up in a ball, crying your eyes out day in and day out, feeling like the obsessive addictive energy is never going to end. And we're here to help you. So if you're in the place where you still need to shed that addictive energy, where you are still nonstop ruminating on your person and you're in the stories, we highly encourage you to check out our 30-day Twin Flame Detox Program. It is literally life-changing. There's no other program out there for your twin flame connection like our 30-day detox. And if you have more balanced, neutralized energy, and you need to learn how to balance your person so they stop that pull that they do, right? That's natural. Your divine masculine is going to pull if you get in mind. If you want to learn how to really harness your energy so they no longer pull the same way and they can stay in your space, check out our ultimate balancing program. There's nothing else like our balancing program. It literally guides you step by step through all scenarios. And I'm talking from signs and synchronicities to your first kiss, to your first date, everything. We go through every scenario. We purposely, intentionally went through everything we went through in learning how to balance our people back in and created a program that will help all of you. So you have 3 days left, 33% off for our Easter sale. Click on the link below and see what resonates with you. And if you need a little more TLC, a little more hand holding, check out our Souls Plan Twin Flame programs. It's all inclusive. There are different tiers for how much help and guidance you need, but click on the link below. So today, what do we want to talk about? We want to talk about how to shift out of the stories, because let's get real. It is the stories that's keeping you in mind, that's keeping you away from your twin flame. So with that being said, again, welcome to our channel and let's get started. Love. So what today we want to talk about is we want to talk about quieting the mind and having your twin flame, right? That is what it takes to get your twin flame. And we really, really want to emphasize what it feels like and what it looks like to quiet the mind. So with that being said, quiet the mind. I'm going to say it again, quiet the mind and have your twin flame, because that is literally what it takes. And I guess the positive, because this is hard, we're not going to lie, we're not going to candy coat things. This is hard work. This is hard inner work to get to this place where you can quiet the mind, silence the judgment, silence the expectations, silence the preferences of the mind for this one person. But the good news is you only have to do it with this one person, right? You can have mind about everything else in your life. You could have it about work. You could have it about family. You could have it about siblings. You could have it about friends. You can have mind energies about anything and everything, but just not your person. So that's the silver lining, right? Like, okay, so all of this internal work that I'm doing, as long as I can stay in this place of oneness and this place of soul with this one person, I can magnetize them back in. But what's really cool, and we want to not shy away from this, when you can start doing this towards your person, you're going to naturally see it evolve in all the rest of the parts of your life. You're going to see it naturally evolve into how you interact with work colleagues, how you interact with family, how you interact with friends. You're going to start feeling and noticing the energy of people you're surrounding yourself with, of situations you're surrounding yourself with, and you're going to naturally start gravitating to this higher vibration because that's what feels good. And so this work that you're doing, and you're doing it for you. I want to emphasize that, because if you're doing it just to get your twin flame back, I'm sorry, loves, but you can't BS your soul and you will naturally push. You can't do anything for your person because they are you. Let me say that again. You can't do anything for your person because they are you. So what does that mean? You have to do it for you. If you're doing it for them, you're looking at them through the lens of separation consciousness, and you're seeing them separate from yourself. This connection is energetic. It has to be done through the oneness. It has to be done through the lens of unity consciousness, where you understand and you shift into this place of everything I do for me. When I choose me, I therefore am transcending that energy to my person, and it's going to positively affect their magnetization to me. So when you can get out of the mind and the stories, you naturally will have your person back, because that's how the energy of this connection plays out. We've done this for years. We've helped countless people, and the energy never deviates. It always plays out the same way. When one of our clients is in soul and we can feel it, they're in that shifting energy of I'm choosing me, I'm choosing me, I'm choosing me. We know, we talk between us, she's about to magnetize. We feel it. And lo and behold, usually within a week or two, we get an email or we get a call. Hey, my person's back in. And we say, of course, because that's how the energy works. It is so automatic, right? This energy does not play games. It just is. It just is.
It's instant. The way soul confirms itself, where it's almost undeniable. You know, that hard yes, where you can feel it in every part of your being. That's why clients can say, I almost feel like I'm about to run into them, but I don't.
Yeah, we get that a lot. I feel, and then we tell them, like, that's the knowing. Like, this is where you have to be able to discern, am I in the knowing or am I in mind? And how do you discern that? The knowing feels like peace. It feels like love. It feels a higher vibration. If you're in mind about it, like I'm going to see them, and there's these fear-based energies coming up, you're in mind. There's a totally different. So this is what we want to share on this channel. We really want you to feel into energy, because that's all this connection is. We are here guiding you in the energy of this twin flame connection, because it is so potent, it is so real, and it is so matter of fact. It does not deviate. So when you can start understanding the energy and working with the energy, where is my energy at right now? Am I in mind or am I in soul about my person? You will start being able to monitor yourself and see the shifts that start coming through. You can start being conscious, being aware of where your mind's at. Am I in a story right now? Because if they're not in front of me, then I'm obviously not in presence, right? If they're not in front of me and my mind is on them, I'm not in the present moment, and I'm now pushing. How do I bring myself back to this place of alignment, this place of presence, and out of the stories? How do I get to this place where I'm magnetic to my person at all times, because I'm not ruminating and identifying as the stories that are going on in the mind? Because again, you're not your mind. You are the one watching the thoughts. You are the soul that you are, and your person is the other half, the negative polarity of the shared soul, the shared oneness. So that's why when we say you've got to align to soul, you're aligning to you. You're aligning to what you are. You're aligning to your twin flame because they are your shared soul essence. They are that same energy. But if you're in the energy of mind, you have now gone into separation consciousness, and you are now you're not a vibrational match for your twin. And that's why they can't come to you when you're in mind. But when you're in soul, when you're aligned and you've released preferences, expectations, and judgments, you have now become the exact vibrational match of your person. And that's why they are the one person in this time-space reality that you can align to soul, and they're going to naturally come. You can't do that with a soulmate. A soulmate, it does not work that way. They don't just feel your energy. They're not just drawn to your energy. That is your twin. And that's how you can confirm, am I really in this journey? Well, how do I do that? You release the addictive energy, you surrender, and you align to soul. And if they come back, well, they're your twin flame.
So why are you being asked to be out of mind with this one person? It's such a tall order to ask from me, soul. Holy moly. You're asking me to not be in the stories and to not have these repetitive thought patterns that are obsessing about this person that I'm obsessed with. Like, it's like a double conflict, right? It's like they are the biggest catalyst for all of my triggers. They are our biggest addiction. Yet, to interact with this person on a permanent long-term experience, you have to connect with them through soul. It's a different mode. You're connecting with them in a way that you've never connected with anyone else before. And this is why it required an awakening. It required our dark night. It required for our entire being to burst out of this life-shaking event of meeting your other in another body, your soul.
Example that I shared with you and with our client yesterday, because I really feel like whoever's listening right now needs to hear this, because we can say all day long, you need to be in soul, you need to be in soul, you need to be in soul. But what does that look like when you're actually interacting with your twin flame? What does it look like when you're balancing them and you're living with them and something happens that triggers the mind into stories? How do you calm the mind down? What does it look like in practical terms? So, Joanne, you already know the story. A couple days ago, I found out that a close family friend had an attraction years ago to my person. And it sort of came out in this sort of weird way, but it triggered the mind, because the way she told me was that they were both attracted to each other. And my person has never told me that. And so it made my mind start creating stories, and I had to woozah the energy. And before I talked to him about it, like, hey, this sort of happened. And so when I did finally talk to him, I didn't do it from the place that I would have a few years ago when I was in addictive energy. A few years ago in addictive energy, and this is why I want to sort of demonstrate this for all of you guys, sort of so you can see the difference between mind versus soul, and what would happen if I was in mind versus how I ended up responding. Notice, not reacting, responding in soul rather than in mind, in fear-based. So a few years ago, I would have lost it. I would have been very accusatory, and I would have been very jealous, and it would have come out spewed to him like, how could you have not told me this? It would have already accused him of having this attraction for this person that is my friend and never having told me. But instead, I woozed my energy and I let him know, hey, this was shared with me and it's information I wasn't aware of. But I was very neutral about it. And honestly, I didn't care what he came back to me with. And what he came back to me with was, that's not true. It was never like that. And if it was, I would have told you. And as soon as he said that, I knew he was truthful. I know he's always truthful with me. And I was able to calm and neutralize that energy. But I'm letting you guys know, initially, yes, my mind went straight to jealous mode. It went straight to that gross energy that, like, for me, like, festers in my stomach. And I had to watch it. I had to watch the mind. And this is what I started telling myself. Before I messaged him, I started telling myself, and we tell this to all of our clients, so what? So what if he had an attraction 20 years ago? So what? I am me. I know that there is no other me. And if he were to ever leave, good the F luck, right? That's what we say. If your person were to ever leave, good the F luck, because they'll never find someone as amazing as their soul. So I did all these steps and I was able to neutralize the energy. And again, when I messaged him, it wasn't from a place of accusation. It was just, hey, this was shared with me and I never knew this. And his response was, that's not true. That was never like that. And if it was, I would have told you. And as soon as that were the case, it was like, okay, now I'm going to drop this. It's done. It's over. And I had to come back to presence. But the mind wanted to fight. The mind wanted to keep ruminating in the stories of every single time they saw each other together over the last 2 years that we've been friends. What were their interactions like? That's where my mind went. It wanted to dissect all of these past occurrences, and it wanted to stay in the past, and it wanted to almost like find something. And I had to be the conscious one, watching the mind and reminding myself, none of that matters. None of that matters. And this is what we tell you guys all the time. The stories are irrelevant. Everything is only based on this now moment and your energy. So when you're fighting the mind, you have to overtake the mind, overpower the mind. How? By becoming the conscious one that knows the mind is not you. That's the steps you need to take. So this is where a lot of people struggle. They hear the stories and then they identify as the stories, and then they go down the rabbit hole of the stories. They identify as the mind. They see these thoughts. They think these thoughts are them, and then they entertain the thoughts with the back and forth. And you can never satiate the mind. You can never win the mind. You can never stop the mind, but you can be conscious of the mind. And that's what we want to highlight for you today, is your job is not to stop the thoughts. It's not to stop the thoughts. It's to become conscious of them. Hear the distinction. You're not to stop the thoughts. You're always going to think about your person. Always. The mind will always go to your person because they are you. Your job is not to stop that. Your job is to become aware of it. Aware of it. I'm sorry to cut you off, but I wanted to share that with people because I know that everyone struggles with the actual real life scenarios where they are going into the stories. And I wanted to show a practical example of how do you stop the stories. You have to become conscious. You have to.
We had a client that we were on a call with, and you guys know me and Elizabeth are very, very conscious with energy. We just are. We have to. This connection requires us to be super in tune with the now moment, and we can call out the mind in all of our interactions with everyone, anyone at any given time. And so, especially during our calls, our main focus is to really help you shift into unity consciousness, back into oneness, so that you can be in a balanced place to where you can handle all of the triggers, you can face the fears the mind has, and essentially be in a really calm state where your person can come back. That is our ultimate goal in every conversation, is how do we get you back into neutrality? How do we get you back into a place of soul? How do we get you out of the mind's loop and patterns and help you be conscious in all of the stories that the mind is saying? We help you quiet the mind and watch the mind. And we are very intentional with our focus in helping clients shift out of their mind and in the stories with their person. But it's really, really hard because our people is our biggest catalyst to be in mind, especially if there's a story or something that you're experiencing. And so it's really critical to be able to get out of the stories and loops of the mind. And so when we were in this with a call with one of our clients, that was what we were hearing. It was like mind, mind, mind. And then we kept bringing her back. Okay, here's soul again. And then she would go back again to mind. And then we would bring her back to soul again. And then it would be to mind. And it would be like back and forth. And that's okay. That's how the mind is. Big shift for the client where she realizes she's been identifying as the fears and allowing her life to be led by these fears of why if he never chooses me, why if I'm abandoned, why if, right? The list goes on and on and on. And you see the difference between that list and Elizabeth's list when she experienced a form of trigger that impacted her and her person. Right away, she realized, so what? Why do we play the so what game with you guys? Because soul doesn't give an F. So what? So what? So what? I wish him the F luck. And that's a shift in energy. There is no mind in that place. It's soul. Soul does not give an F. Soul doesn't care. Soul is everything. Soul is your person. So when she got into that state, right away, her person didn't pull. He's right there. He's able to talk about it. They're back to being their normal, happy-go-lucky self. And there's no addictive energy.
Joanne, that
Even
is a really
it
important
could have
thing,
been.
because I did when I came home after I was at the place that I found that out. I came home and I was like, I want to tell you why I'm upset about this. And never once was it about him. She never knew. She just was projecting what she thought she knew about him. And I think that made a huge difference in him not pulling, was because it was never about what you're not doing. It was the issues I had with my friend. And that was a huge distinction, because normally in addictive energy, we would go straight to our person and make them the bad guy, right? Make them like the burden of, you need to now fix this. And when I went to him, it was like, this is what I'm feeling. And I know I need to handle it and I need to set boundaries with her. But there was never this part where I was spewing out addictive energy about him. That's the distinction. We always want to arm you guys with the best way to handle your energy where you're not spewing. And that is by going internally with things that are going on with you. And I knew there was something she had said that triggered me and I needed to fix it. And not only that, I needed to set boundaries with her, even though she was my friend, because I could not people please anymore. Knowing this information and not holding myself and my own feelings accountable. But never once was I like, you need to fix this. You need to tell me that everything's okay. You need to tell me that this was not the case. There was never any of that. It was, I need to sit with what's going on with me and I need to fix the stuff that's going on with me on my end.
The huge difference between this connection and any other connections, my love, is this is one that it's calling you to be in soul with this one person. And so what does that look like? When you're having interactions, there's nothing that they need to do for you to solve what you're going through internally, because this is a you thing, right? Whatever is going on with you and the stories that your mind is repeating over and over and over and over. The only way to get out of the stories is to be aware that the stories are not you. But that's really hard, because there's a lot of people that hear the stories and then they became the stories, and now the stories are them. And they repeat them over and over, and they say them over and over. They're manifesting in this really low vibration, fear-based energy, and it doesn't serve them. So when Elizabeth says, we can feel your energy, my loves, we know when you're about to manifest. The reason being is because we can feel your energy in this really high vibrational union energy of soul. We can feel your place of not giving an F, where you are simply soul, where you are sharing with us, hey, I've been really spending time just being. I'm being one with all my experiences. I'm manifesting a whole bunch of stuff. I'm feeling the oneness all the time. I haven't even thought about my person. I haven't thought about him at all. And they're confused and they're wondering what they're doing wrong when everything they're saying is pure being. And we hear it. We hear the being and we feel the oneness. And we just tell them to keep being. Just keep being. That's the solution. You're being and being and being. And the mind is still looking and has a story, but you get to watch the mind's story and you continue to be. And that's the place, my love. That's the place where we get a message. Hey, I ran into my person. Hey, my person messaged me. And sometimes it's very incognito. You're going to get a random message on social media by like random ghost like accounts. And then you find out later it was your person. It's just the energy finding itself when you are in the energy of soul. So it's really hard to talk about stopping the mind, but that's why you are all in luck. You're in this channel so we can take you out of, right? We're giving you the ability to get you out of that mind loop. The story, sit with yourself. What are the stories that I'm repeating over and over, keeping me in mind about this one person? And you'll find most of the time it's past and future. It's not presence. It's not being. And when you are with your person in the physical, it's oneness. It's nirvana, my love. It's the same way you're one with the trees when you're having that walk and they texted you. When they text you and you respond back, you're still emanating that same energy of oneness. When they're in your physical space, it's still oneness. And even when they leave, it's still oneness. I hope you guys can feel the opposite of mine right now. I want you to feel the oneness of soul. I want you to feel the oneness of all. This is your twin flame. If you're spending more time in the stories and worrying about the stories, your person's not going to be in your space. And we can tell the difference between the energy because your intent is focused on either your person or yourself. And remember, they're you. So focus on you. And as a byproduct, they too feel that energy as well. So we highly recommend being able to be conscious when the mind's going to your person. It's thinking about your person. It's worried about something with your person. And just be present, my love. Be present in this here and now. It's hard. We know it's hard, especially if they are the ones that bring out all of this fear inside us. But it's also really amazing because this is that one person that can give you the gifts of yourself. They're teaching you how to become you more and more every day. How do I become the true, authentic version of me? Because you guys know, our people don't get jealous. They don't play the games. They don't need to hear all the stories. They do not need to sit on the dinner table and talk about all of the things that, talk it out. We don't need to talk it out. We don't need to hash it out. When Elizabeth talks about her and her person with other people, they're so confused. What do you mean you're both together just doing nothing? Yeah, that's pretty much what we're doing. We're doing nothing. We're being in each other's space, and it's enough because that's exactly what I would be doing by myself anyway.
Yeah.
It's just
Joanne, what you're talking about, what you're referencing is I have this beautiful soul who is trying to find a soulmate, and I'm seeing through her sort of all the expectations she has of a soulmate she wants to find. And she has a lot of expectations. And I know that she is no different than like 90% of the people out there who are looking to meet someone, and they sort of have this unrealistic view of Prince Charming, right? And being balanced in a twin flame journey, you have learned so much about how to love unconditionally that you start seeing the energy of conditions, and it becomes very, very apparent. So when one of her criteria for finding a soulmate is they have to want to talk, they have to want to be able to have a lot of conversations with me because I like to talk. And she wants, sitting down at the dinner table and having this back and forth conversation. And I told her when my person's at the dinner table, he'll be on his phone. And when he finds something he wants to share with me, he shares it with me. Now, back when I was in addictive energy, I used to get mad at him. Like, why are you on your phone? And I think I actually had a rule, and I'm putting that in quotes, a rule at my dinner table that there were no phones allowed. And I would get mad if he was on his phone, and I would fight, and my addictive energy would go crazy. And as soon as I became balanced, it was like, do whatever you want. Like, whatever you're doing is not going to affect me. And so now, yes, he has his phone at the dinner table. And when he wants to share something with me, he does. And if I want to share something with him, I do. Otherwise, we just do our own thing. Being in a twin flame connection is literally like, and I've said this before, it's like toddlers parallel playing. Toddlers that are together, you will see they do not know how to interact, but they love being near their friends of the same age, but they don't know how to interact with each other yet. So they just sort of do their own thing side by side, enjoying the person's company. That's what a twin flame connection is like. You are being by yourself with this other person, and it's enhanced and it's better. But whether they were there or not, you're still going to be doing your own thing, and you're still going to be enjoying what you're doing. That's what a twin flame connection is like. You are learning how to interact with yourself through this other person. It's crazy, but it's so amazing once you have really honed in your energy and learned how to balance your energy.
We hope that you guys can feel this oneness of union. There's a reason why this is the channel that Soul brought you today. It's showing you something different. It's showing you to stop the noise. It's showing you to stop the loops that the mind is giving you to keep you in mind, to keep you in separation. And it's showing you how to be in the oneness, so you can be in the space where your person can be in your space. And we do this every day. We balance this every day, my love. If you guys have felt the oneness and are resonating, take these truths in, practice them, and let this be your new primary mode. The beer, the watcher, the one observing, the one listening, the one that is. That is the true you. Your soul brought you this channel because this channel is bringing you your soul. This is why we're World's Cup of Joe, awaken your soul, my love. We made that title intentionally knowing what this connection is. This connection requires us to be in soul. Dang it. I'm going to say dang it because it's so hard. It's a really, really hard process to get out of mind. It's a really difficult task to stop the stories. How do you stop the stories? Well, sometimes we don't know we're in the stories. Sometimes we don't know we're looping. Sometimes we don't know we're in addictive energy. Sometimes we don't know that we're pushing. And it requires that extra. Let me just listen to a soul video real quick. Let me pop Joe and Elizabeth's video or meditation and let me just get into being. And this is why in our comment section, we get messages all the time. This worked. My person contacted me. You're not going to find that in a tarot reading, my love. You're not going to find that in an energy update. You're not going to find that when you're watching videos that are not helping you balance your energy with your person in the physical permanently. Me and Elizabeth are doing this every day. You guys came to the right place. We want to welcome you with so much freaking love. This is your new home, my loves. Thank you for being here and listening to this really amazing video to help you shift. I'm in oneness right now, so I hope you guys can all feel the soul energy. This is the opposite of stories. This is the opposite of mind. This is the opposite of separation. We're leading you to union. We're leading you to oneness. We're leading you to your twin flame, my love. This is soul. You are your soul. Bring yourself back home to where you've always been. The true you, the soul that you are. And that's your twin flame. Let's catch our sale. Everything in our holiday store is 33% off. If you're not in communication, we highly recommend doing the detox. If you're needing help to balance, balancing programs there. We're here to help you. We love you guys so much. We hope you have an amazing, amazing day. Bye, love.
Bye, love.